Paper, yeah. It's our time. One love. Yeah. Man, it is the economy is rough right now. And AI is taking a lot of jobs. People aren't going to realize it yet. There's a lag in the data that they have about job loss and um, you know, there's a lag in the data that they have about job loss and about just the economy and all of that stuff. They don't find out till later. And then a lot of times when they post that stuff, it's projections. And then a lot of times they get the projections wrong and it's a lot worse than they think it is, especially when it's bad stuff. No administration wants to say, oh, yeah, we lost 20 million jobs based on to AI. But this is about, being mid 30s and not even being able to get hired at Uber Eats here in New York. Now, I myself am an artist, a business owner. I have a brick and mortar location here in Brooklyn, New York. I meet a lot of people there and I have a lot of friends and I get to talk to people. And I was talking to someone who is a young guy. I believe he went to college. He's a white guy and is in his mid 30s and is looking for a job. And he also has a car. And so he was like, you know what? I'm going to do Uber Eats. I'm going to do Grubhub. I'm going to do this type of stuff to be able to kind of provide for myself and do all of that. And what's crazy is right now in New York City, because I'm reporting all this from New York City, a lot of people don't realize what New York City is like. And they think, oh, you could do this, you could do that. There used to be a time in New York City where you could hustle and you could get a bunch of jobs, hustle at certain things and make it happen. Right now, Uber Eats and Grubhub and Seamless, they aren't even hiring for the average New Yorker. And if you order like pickup or delivery or something like that, you'll likely get someone that is a immigrant or so a lot of times a recent immigrant or something like that. And a lot of the reason that is, one is because the pay is so low. Two, because the city opened it up so these folks can get easy work permits for these jobs. But there's so much demand because all of the immigrants are trying to get these jobs. There's so much demand that if you are a citizen, regular New Yorker, you cannot get a job hired at Seamless and Uber Eats and stuff like that. I thought, now I haven't looked into this and tried, so I thought, nah, like you can. When the guy was telling me this, I was like, nah, come on, you can. They're like always hiring. I'm sure there's a lot of drop off. They always need new people. He's like, man, the only way to do it is you have to go 2 cities away. You have to go to Connecticut and try to be a delivery driver there because it's so saturated here. That's a job that's in high demand. It's so saturated here that you can't do it. So I know in a lot of other cities, there's always opportunity to do some type of these gig work. The gig work in New York City is completely maxed out. A lot of these gig places, they don't have more openings. Like if you want to be like first off, to be an Uber driver in New York, you basically have to go through one of these companies that loan you a car and take a portion of your own earnings or something like that. I haven't looked into this in a while, so don't quote me exactly, but I know because New York City has such high standards, because of the taxi lobby, which basically, there's a bunch of yellow taxis here, because of them wanting to keep their business, they make it so if you want to be an Uber driver, you have to have a pretty recent car to do that. And since that costs money, and a lot of folks that do it are immigrants, they usually go through a program that helps rent them or loan them the car to do Uber, and they pay a certain amount of that back. Saying that to say, to just reiterate how difficult it is and how swallowed up it is if you're trying to do gig work in New York City. At this point in the economy, it is pretty much maxed out. Like, TaskRabbit is another one. About 8 years ago, when I first kind of quit my corporate job and went into being an artist full time, I also was doing TaskRabbit because I had some friends in San Francisco who told me about it. It was like, yo, this is the new thing. So I went and did that. You used to be able to get a bunch of jobs on there, do a bunch of stuff. I haven't done it in a while, but I sometimes did TaskRabbits with other taskers. One time I did it with this one guy. He was a small guy, but he had like a white truck. He was making like 10, 12 grand a month. He showed it to me because he was like, man, this is crazy. Look what I'm doing. He showed me I'm making 10, 12 grand a month off TaskRabbit, just with moving tasks. I used to do TaskRabbit and I did pretty well, and would only work maybe 30, 40 hours a month and was doing pretty well. I stopped doing it because I, opened my business, started making money other ways. Maybe about 2 years ago, TaskRabbit kept sending me texts and emails, I guess because I was in their like database or something. They kept sending me texts. Hey, you have a job awaiting for you. You have a task that you need to do. And I'm like, why do you keep sending this? I was ignoring them. And eventually I was like, you know what? Let me look at it, see what's going on. It's been a while. I think it was like Thanksgiving or something. I was at home. I was like, why are they sending me this now? So I just had time. I looked it up and I tried to sign up again. And basically they were like, your account is so old, because my account was from like I said, years ago. They were like, your account is so old. You need all of these updates. We can't restore your account. You basically have to start a new account. And then I was like, okay, cool. I'll start a new account. That's easy. And they were like, yeah, see, that's the thing. We're not accepting any new accounts. We're not looking for any new taskers. They have a certain amount of people they can have so that it's a good enough market where folks get a lot of jobs and there's enough folks to answer to the job. So they're not accepting any more taskers. Now, this might have changed. It's been a couple years, but I don't think it's changed. Before, there was kind of a stigma against gig work. People didn't want to do it a little bit. They wanted the security of a job. Now we're fully in a gig economy. Folks want to work from home. They want to do gig work. That's normalized. Because of that, it's been maxed out. There's no opportunity for that. So like I said, this person I know has to go 2 cities over just to do tasks and all of that, do TaskRabbit and all of that. And I'm sorry, not TaskRabbit, Grubhub, Uber Eats, all of that. So the economy is rough, and I'm saying this to say to folks in other cities, this might be coming to your city soon. What ends up happening is these major corporations, they prey off of the immigrant labor because they know that a lot of the immigrants can't advocate for themselves because they're here in this country. They want to stay in this country. They don't want to make too much noise. They won't advocate for themselves. Many of them necessarily don't know how to, based on being in a new country, also trying to balance work and life and all of that. And they don't know the normal pay rate for things. So whatever the pay rate is, it might be much better than in their country. So they're going to go with that pay rate. These major corporations aren't fighting to pay them a fair wage. And, a lot of regular citizens here, they don't want to do these jobs, not because they don't want to do these jobs. They don't want to do them because it's not paying a fair wage. It's not paying a living wage. But the whole business model is based on them not having to pay people a fair wage. So, yeah, and I expect this to get worse. I honestly expect this to get worse because, I'm just gonna move my car up a little bit. I expect it to get worse because, like, where are people gonna get jobs for? Like, what are gonna be the new jobs? Like, there's more robots than ever. There's more AI chatbots, and ChatGPT just released a new $200 a month plan that can do PhD level work, and it can, now who knows how good it is, but the point is that as the years progress, every year there's going to be more automated ways to take your job. So what's going to give? You know, if there's no options, people don't have any money, you know, a lot of people are living off of credit or in credit debt. Like, it's definitely getting rough out here. So I don't know. I want to know what it's like where you guys are from. If you do TaskRabbit or some type of gig work, or excuse me, not TaskRabbit, Seamless, Uber Eats. What do the people look like doing the deliveries there? I know New York is a city where it's a lot of immigrants and there's probably a lot of demand. And remember, this is one of the main markets for these apps. Like, the markets that help keep them open are New York, LA, Dallas, Fort Worth, like places where high density places, and New York is like the number one place. It's usually why these apps launch here, because it kind of makes sense too. It's like a small area, so they're able to try to control that area. We'll see. But yeah, so this is my thoughts on that. You guys let me know what you think, and best of luck. Paper, yeah.